Okay.
Morning, everyone. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody is doing well. So as always, we're just going to wait a few minutes to get everybody online. Paul, always the first one. So I'm so happy to see you online. Good morning. I'm looking forward to class too, and I'm really happy that you're here. So absolutely. So your request was to do cobbler, lotus, and some feet and toes. So you got it. So I'll definitely include them. Normally I'll do feet in the beginning, but I'm actually going to do feet a little bit towards the end. So what I'm thinking for today's class is, we're going to take some time to just get settled on our mat. And then, so now that Dave and I have got the music figured out so you guys can hear it, I've got probably about 20-ish minutes of some more like upbeat music. So we'll flow, we'll kind of try and get our energy up a little bit. And then I want to spend the rest of the class just kind of getting settled, going a little bit slower and getting a little bit deeper in the poses. I know from talking to a lot of you, a lot of people, everyone's feeling a little bit, I don't know, like tired, maybe emotional, maybe just there's a lot happening right now. So we're going to try and just, create some space for that in today's class. So as you're thinking about today's class, one thing that I want you to try and keep in mind is just creating space. So, in our classes that we do together, I do talk a lot about making sure you're connecting to the breath, making sure you're modifying for your body. And so one thing that I want you to keep in mind too is how can you create just a little bit more space? How do you create a little bit more opening? How do you create a little bit more length and that kind of thing? So Paul, I'm so glad you love this outfit. I love it too. It's the first time I'm actually like officially wearing it. So it's pretty awesome. Daniel, you were here. Thanks so much, Daniel. You're such an awesome supporter. You're here week after week. You're always here. So thanks so much for just supporting us so much. Dave and I really appreciate it. So thanks for everything you do. So I'm just gonna wait another moment. Hey, Mama. Oh, Mama. Mom, thanks so much for joining. I'm so glad you're here. So the other thing that I wanted to note is, so as we're thinking about today, we're thinking about how can we create a little bit more space in the body? How can we kind of do that? So I don't normally teach with a lot of props, and it was done intentionally to just make it a bit more accessible for those of us that are at home that maybe don't have those kind of props and things like that. But I am going to try and teach a little bit with today's class, and I might add it in to future classes as well. So I have two different setups here. This is what the setup is going to look like if you actually have the yoga props. So you can have a yogi kind of blanket. The only thing that makes it a yogi blanket is it's like a little bit sturdier, and it's normally made out of cotton or something like that. So it's just a little more stable. So it just gives you a bit more support. 2 blocks and a strap. Now, for those of you who probably don't have this stuff at home, here is the at-home setup. So you can grab like a hand towel, which you can use as a strap. You can also use a dog leash. You can use a belt, anything that's going to give you a little bit more length. You can get a big book. So I've got like a big thick book here, Tools of Titans. So if you've got any of Tim Ferriss's books, these would work really well for a block. Any of those other like really thick, sort of sturdy hardcover books can work really well here. Even like a novel, like if you've got one of those fiction novels and they're pretty big, you can use that as well. And then this is just like, a blanket that you keep over your couch, just something a little bit thinner. And now what these do is these just allow you to create a little bit more space in your body. They allow you to find a little bit more length. So blocks, for example, if you're like in a standing posture, let's say tree pose, you can use the block here on your hand so that you can get a little bit deeper into the pose. You can find that opening a little bit more. So I know there's a big stigma around using props in the yogi industry. I'm a huge fan of props because, again, this is your body, this is your practice. You know, you've got to sort of adopt it for you. And so I highly encourage you guys, if you have stuff at home that you can use, just grab them. Let's make this a nice, juicy, opening, awesome class. All right, so I see Jen, good morning. I'm so glad you're here. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this, Daniel. And yeah, I don't think Renee is joining this. He'll be here tomorrow. All right, cool. So we're gonna get started. So let me know if there's any other requests that anybody has. We've already got some requests to do some feet, some toes, lotus, and cobbler. So I'm gonna do those a little bit later in the class. So if you missed sort of the beginning part, so a couple things is one, I really want you to think about creating more space and opening in the body for this class. You're using a cardboard box. Hey, you know what? You use whatever you got. So you don't need a lot to do yoga. The simpler, the better. So that's awesome. Maybe a little hard, so you may want to grab a towel, but that's good. And then, so yeah, create space, remember your breath, and, you know, let's do this. Always adopt for you. So I'm going to try and give some modifications and stuff like that. We are going to do some vinyasa flows. So if you're just not feeling it, maybe your energy is super low, you're just really not feeling flowing today, then feel free to modify to something else that feels good for you. So maybe that's going to be just hanging out in child's pose. Maybe it's actually going from a child's pose to a cobra. So you're still getting a little bit of movement, just not quite as intense. Feel free to just, you know, plop into Shavasana if that's what you need. So you do what you need for this class. And then try and grab some prompts, and I think that's it. So we'll get started. So hopefully that was enough time to grab your props if you are going to grab them, and otherwise we're going to get started. So again, how I've sort of structured this class is I structured it against the playlist. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend the first couple minutes, we're just going to get nice and settled here. Then we've got some energetic music to kind of get us flowing, get the energy up, and then we're going to slow it right down, just really get deep into the stretches all the way until we do Shavasana. So let's go. So I'm going to start my music. Dave's going to start it on his end too. So when you're ready, we're going to start now. Okay. All right, so I want you to just start with finding any seated position that works for you. So it could be cross-legged, you could just have your legs out. If you do have a block or a towel, you can always place it under your seat just to give you a little bit of a flatter back. So just find whatever works for you. Morning, Kath, I'm so glad you're here. So what we're gonna do is I just want you to find whatever seated position you're in, close your eyes, and let's take a couple breaths. So I want you to first just get nice and deep with your breath, finding your pace. I want you to just notice where your body's touching the ground, if you've got a block or a book, where it might be there. Notice if you feel any airflow around you. Pay attention to what you can hear around you. Maybe you hear sounds from outside, from inside. Just observe. Just breathing here. Letting go whatever kind of morning you've had already, whatever kind of week you've maybe had, good or bad, just let it go. Taking this time for you to reconnect to the breath, to have some self-care, to get a nice stretch, whatever your reason for being here, just breathe. See how your shoulders are. Are they all the way tucked up to your ears? Or can you find a little bit more space to bring them down? How's your back? See if you can get just a little bit straighter. Let's do a few breaths together. Inhale. And let it go. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly opening up the eyes. Removing that block if you need to. And let's find our way into a tabletop position. So from here, we're gonna just do a couple cat and cows to get started. Start opening up the body. Bringing that chest down to the ground, looking up. Exhale, coming into your cat, arcing the spine. Pressing the hands away into the mat. Inhale, coming into your cow, looking up. And just going at your pace. I want you to take a few moments here. Going at your pace. Doing any other variations that might feel good. Maybe you're gonna go into body rolls instead. Opening up here through the side. Maybe you're going to do a little bit of a wrist stretch here instead. Just breathing. Finding any bits of movement that are feeling good for you this morning. Just making this your practice. Not worried about what you look like, just worried about what it feels like. And when you're ready, let's come into our first downward dog. So pushing your hands into the mat. Maybe taking a nice deep bend and coming to straight. Maybe pedaling out the feet. Just breathing. Maybe bringing the knees in from side to side, getting a little bit of a side stretch here. Just finding any little bits of movement here. First downward dog. All right. Let's step top of the mat. Inhale, arms all the way up. Maybe a little back bend. Folding over the legs. Look up, half flat back, and fold. Just breathing here. Noticing where you might be holding tension. And just breathing into those areas. From here, look up, flat back one more time. And stepping all the way back. First round of flow. Maybe bring your knees to the ground for this one. Elbows coming tight. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. And coming over into downward dog. Breathing here. Just breathe. Again, feel free to take any bits of movement you might need. And stepping or hopping top of the mat. Inhale to upward dog. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding over the legs. Inhale, arms all the way up. And exhale, palms down. All right, speeding it up a little bit. Let's get the energy up. Again, feel free to make any modifications you need. Inhale, arms up. Maybe a little back bend. Folding over. Now here, you can always use the blocks here on your forward fold to help bring the floor a little bit closer to you. Folding over. Inhale, flat back. And stepping or hopping all the way back, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Over, downward dog. Breathing here. Pressing your hands into the mat. See if you can broaden the shoulders a little bit. Belly to spine. Feel free to keep doing those little bits of movement if that's feeling good for your downward dog. You can also use your blocks here for your downward dog. So if you need a little bit more space, you can use this here to give you that space. Right leg lifts. Three-legged dog. Stepping that foot, top of the mat, coming into high lunge. Feeling this high lunge. Belly to spine. If it's too much having the arms up, maybe you're gonna cactus the arms. Or maybe you're just gonna bring the hands down or heart center. So find something that works for your body, holding here. All right, coming into low lunge, bring that knee down and up. Down and up. That's 2. Down, up, 3. We're gonna go to 5. Down, up, down, up, and hold. Breathing here. All right, from here, we're gonna put some weight into this leg and we're gonna come into our warrior 3. So really stepping into that front leg, see how slow and controlled you can go. Flexing that back foot, nice active back leg, maybe a micro bend in the front knee. Breathe here. Find your space, find your control. If you fall out of it, just meet back in. From here, we're gonna drop left arm down, right arm is gonna come out behind, half split. You can also have both hands on the ground. Your hands might be out this way. And this is where blocks can be really helpful too, because they can help bring the floor a little bit closer to you. So you find your variation of half split. See if you can level out the hips. And stepping all the way back, high lunge. Let's flow it out. Arms coming down, right leg comes back, maybe a 3-legged chaturanga. Upward dog, downward dog. Breathing here. Noticing if one leg feels a little bit different than the other. Breathing. Right leg lifts. 3-legged dog. Breathing here, belly to spine. Pressing those hands into the mat. Left leg foot comes between the palms. Coming into your high lunge. Pressing that foot back. Maybe bring the palms to center, down, cactus, whatever's feeling good for your body today. And let's go, we got 5 drops. So bring that knee down and up. It's 1, down and up. It's 2, down, 3. Remember your breath. It's 4. And holding here. So again, we got our transition here, starting to put some weight into that left foot. And bring that foot up. As slow as you can go, as controlled as you can go. Holding here. Maybe a micro bend in the knee. Flexing that back foot. And when you're ready, coming into half split on the other side. Right arm's coming down, left palm behind the ankle, trying to square the hips. Holding here. See if you can activate that glute. Maybe bringing the blocks in to give you a little bit more space. And coming back to your high lunge. All right, let's float out. Palms coming to the mat. 3-legged chaturanga if you want. Upward dog. Downward dog. Breathing here. Catching your breath. Maybe coming into your child's pose here. Wide legs is going to get in the hips more. Legs together is going to be a little more restorative. Catch your breath. Make this child's pose yours. Elbows can come down. Just breathe. All right, from here we're gonna go into puppy pose. So bringing the hips a little bit more forward, hips stacked over the knees, bringing those hands out, and then dropping your chest down. This is another great one with blocks. You can bring the floor a little closer. You can even have your elbows on. So find your variation. Just hanging out here. Feeling that opening in the chest. And meeting back in downward dog. Right leg lifts. Between the palms, warrior 1. Find the warrior 1 for your body that feels comfortable, hips pointing forward. Make sure you're putting some weight into that back leg. Moving the leg as you need to find space. So think about finding space. Warrior 2. Breathing here. Reverse. Straightening the front leg and coming into triangle. Again, maybe using the block here to give you a little bit more space. Opening up here through the chest. Breathing here. Coming into reverse triangle, so keeping the legs the same, just bring that arm back. And we're gonna go into revolve triangle. So bringing left arm outside of the leg, keeping the legs the same, and finding your twist here. So again, blocks can be really helpful here, or tenting up on the fingers. So you find your pose, breathing here. All right, let's flow it out. Palms to the mat, right leg back, maybe a three-legged chaturanga if that feels good. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. Downward dog, breathing here. Morning, Farouk. Thanks for being here. Pressing your hands into the mat, finding your breath. So we know what that side was like, so we're gonna go to the next side. Left leg raises. Planting that that foot between the palms, coming into your warrior one. Breathing here, creating space. Finding the space that you need, adjusting your arms if you need to, pressing into that back leg. Feel the energy. Coming into your warrior two. Just breathe. Reverse. Breathing here. From here, straightening that front leg, coming into triangle on this side. Again, maybe using the block here, give you a little bit more space. Coming back up to reverse it, same legs. And now let's go into revolved. So right palms coming outside of the leg and twist. Left arms coming up. An option to use the block or tenting the fingers. Or if your hand can touch the ground, obviously you can go with that variation instead. Breathe here. All right, let's flow it out. Palms coming to the mat, and left leg is back. Maybe a three-legged chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. And downward dog. Breathing here. Jumping or stepping top of the mat. Inhale, chair pose. Tucking that tailbone nice and deep in the hips here. Just breathe. And folding over the legs. Inhale, look up, flat back. Jumping or hopping, all the way back. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Over the toes, downward dog. Pressing into the hands. Breathing here, taking a child's pose if you need it. Otherwise, seeing if you can find your breath in downward dog. creating space, creating length. Right leg lifts. Bring that foot to the top of the mat. Bring that knee down, low lunge. Hands coming to heart. Breathing here. Stacking the knee over the ankle. Breathing here. Navel to spine. From here, coming into a twist. So bring that right arm back, left arm forward, feeling that twist. If you want a little bit deeper, maybe hooking that elbow over the knee. Bring your hands to prayer. Finding space here. Sometimes it can be fun to imagine this twist almost like you're wringing out a towel, getting out all those toxins, breathing here. Coming back to center. And coming back into half split. So finding your half split here, you can use your blocks again to help find a little bit more space. Get a little bit taller in the back. Folding over the leg. You can take this a little bit more relaxed. Fold, folding the back over. So you find a pose that is feeling good for your body today. Just breathe. Coming back into low lunge. Quick breath, hands to the center. All right, let's float out. Palms to the mat. Right leg lifts, maybe a three-legged chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Over the toes. Breathing here. Maybe coming into child's pose if you need it. Got one more side to do. Catching your breath. Noticing if your breath is fast or slow. Meeting back in downward dog. Left leg lifts. Low lunge on this side. Bring that knee down. Palms to center. Breathing here. Coming into the twist on this side. So starting out here, left arm is back, right arm is forward. Finding that twist. If you want a little more, taking that right elbow over the knee, coming in a prayer twist. Maybe moving the belly out of the way if you need to find a little bit more space. Adjust however you need to. Breathing here. Coming back to center, breathing here. And coming into your half split on this side. Maybe bring that leg a little bit forward, folding over the leg, maybe trying to keep the back flat here. Option to bring your blocks to help find a little bit more space. Or if you want to take this a little bit more relaxed, maybe rounding the spine. So you find your variation. Just breathe. See if you can find some relaxation. See if you can let go of some of the tension that you're feeling. Coming back into low lunge. Hands to heart, breathing here. All right, palms coming down to the mat. Let's flow it out. Left leg comes back, maybe your three-legged chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Downward dog. Hang out here. Just breathe. Find your breath. Optional child's pose if that feels good. Connect to your breath. See if you can slow it down. All right, meeting back in downward dog. Bring those legs nice and wide. Walking those hands back. Coming into Malasana. Yogi squat. Now, for a yogi squat, your feet might be on your toes here, which is totally fine. It's gonna depend on your ankle flexibility. Just watch that your knees and your toes are in the same direction. Breathing here. If you've got your block, you can always bring it under your seat here to make it a little bit more relaxed, to help you get a little bit more flat here in your back. So you play around with this pose. You find what's gonna work for you. Just breathe. See if you can get your hips to drop just a little bit more. Find space. If it's feeling uncomfortable, breathing here. Breathing into that tension. Few more breaths here. Now I want you to press into your feet. Straighten those legs, coming into forward fold. Breathing here. Maybe holding the elbows here, if that feels good. Maybe grabbing the toes to get a bit of a deeper forward fold here. Maybe grabbing behind the legs. I want you to find any forward fold variation that feels good. You can have a nice deep bend in your knees here to rest your belly. Even feel free to take your feet a little bit wider to make a little bit more space for your belly. Just breathe. Find something that feels super comfortable for you. Find something that feels good for you. Breathing here. Couple more breaths here. All right, walking the hands all the way out. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Over the legs, downward dog. Breathing here. Jumping or hopping, top of the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Palms coming down. All right, from here, we're gonna go into a balancing posture. So we're gonna do tree, or you can do the lotus variation. So tree, you can either have the toes on the ground, on the mat. You can have them on the ankle, or you can bring the foot all the way to the thigh, pressing in wherever you are. If you want to take it a step further, maybe even coming into your lotus, half lotus here, and trying to wrap your hand around. So you want to see if you can try and grab your toe. If you can, lifting that arm up. If you want to practice the lotus variation, but you're not getting the toe, that's totally fine. You can stay here as well with the hands beside. Just working towards that. And just watch your knee here. You want to make sure that the knee is feeling okay in this position. If it's not, normal tree is perfectly good too. So you find whatever variation feels good. Oh man. Holding here. And just breathe. Trying to find a little bit more space. Trying to find your sturdiness. If you fall out of the pose, maybe your balance isn't feeling good today, totally fine. As I say that, I fall out of mine. So just breathe. See if you can focus on one spot on the floor, on the wall, to help you focus. Holding here. And bringing that foot down, whatever variation you're in. Inhale, arms up. Folding over the legs. Stepping or hopping all the way back. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Breathing here. Slowing it down. And stepping, top of the mat or hopping. Inhale, arms up. Palms coming down. Other side, tree pose, so whatever you like. So try to balance it out if you can. If it's just not feeling good on the other side, find any modification that you need to. So again, toes can be on the ground if the balance just isn't feeling good. On the ankle, on the upper thigh. Arms can be at chest, up, down. You just make this about you. So you find a variation that feels good. Or if you want to try half lotus, bringing that foot in, watching your knee here, maybe trying to grab, maybe you're just bringing the hand behind you, maybe you're actually grabbing the toe. So find your pose, just breathe. Trying to find space here, trying to find calm here, find your focus point, and breathe. If you fall out of it, don't worry, just meet back. This is the last bit of work before we're gonna really start slowing it down. Holding here. And slowly with control, bringing that foot down. Let's flow it out. Last flow for the class. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding over the legs, grabbing those elbows. Inhale, flat back, look up. And stepping or hopping all the way back, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. And downward dog. Breathe here. Last downward dog. Any last bits of movement in downward dog that you want to do, go for it. Bringing those knees down. Let's go into some feet stretches. So trying to bring those toes out. See if you can get all 5 toes on each foot onto the mat. And then just kind of sitting back here. So maybe you're just going to stay here. If this is feeling like too much, then coming forward, putting a little bit more weight into the hands. If you're feeling pretty okay here, maybe you're gonna start leaning that weight backwards to add a little bit more weight on the feet. This can get very intense very quickly, so if you need to come out early, go for it. So just breathing through this, noticing what your feet feel like. We don't often spend a lot of time on our feet, or we spend a lot of time on our feet, but normally in yoga and stretching, we kind of forget about them. So even option to come into a shoulder stretch here too, if you wanna sort of do a compound stretch. So you make this about you, breathing through this. Noticing if the intensity is starting to get there. See if you can calm your mind. And slow the breath down. All right, hands coming forward, tapping out the feet. This time coming back with the toes untucked, and we're gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna try and lift the knees up this time, coming back, but modify for you. So if you need to kind of come back into this one, maybe you need to bring your hands a little bit forward, that's totally fine. So you modify for what you need, breathing here. If you need to come out early, that's totally fine. Trying to find calmness and stillness here. Breathing here. Coming out, tapping the feet out one more time. Let's come onto our seat. Coming into cobbler's pose, butterfly pose, just bring those feet together. I'll give you two options here if you want to make it a little bit more of a stretch. Maybe bringing those feet in very close. Maybe grabbing the feet almost like a book, like you're trying to open up a book. Trying to straighten the spine here and folding over. If you want to take it a little bit more passively, maybe bring those legs out a little bit farther and just bringing that forehead to the feet, rounding the spine, just trying to find some space. So you pick your variation, whatever feels good for you this morning, or whatever time of day it is, and just breathe. Hey Erin, happy Saturday. So just breathing here, slowing it down, trying to find a little bit more space. Just breathe. Notice where your mind's at. Notice if it's starting to wander as we slow it down. Try and bring it back to the breath. All right, coming out of that pose, bring those knees together and maybe windshield wiping the knees. Morning, Erin. I hope you're having a great weekend too. And yeah, I hope everyone's staying out of trouble. So just bring those knees back and forth. All right, from here, let's come over to our bellies. Do a little shoulder stretch before we come onto our backs. So what I want you to do is take that left arm out to the side. And what we're gonna do is come over onto the shoulder, dropping the head. Maybe this is where you're gonna stay. Maybe you're gonna bring that right knee behind you. Maybe you'll bring the right arm behind you. So you take this to whatever intensity feels good for your body this morning. I want you to try and find relaxing. I want you to just breathe. Opening up here through the shoulder. Just breathe. All right, coming back to center. Let's move to the other side. Right palm's coming out this time. Coming over onto that right shoulder. Maybe bringing the left foot behind if that feels good. Maybe bringing that right palm behind. So find whatever variation is feeling good for your body this morning. Trying to find some relaxation. Trying to open up that shoulder. Slowing it down here. Coming back to your breath. And finding space. Coming back to center. Coming into a little Cobra, just to wash out the back a little bit. Looking up. Just breathe. And coming into child's pose. Whichever child's pose variation you feel like, you can even bring the arms back. Arms can be forward. Elbows can be raised or down. Just breathe. Coming back up to center. All right, so for the next minute or so, it's gonna be Yogi's choice. So I want you to pick any pose that you're feeling like doing. We're going to then come onto our backs. We're going to do some twists, and then we're gonna really settle into Shavasana. So if there's any last things that you wanna do, maybe you wanna do a shoulder stand, maybe you wanna do some other kind of inversion. Maybe there's just another pose that we didn't get to, we didn't do, that you're really craving right now. So make some time, make some space for you to do that. So just breathing here, doing whatever is feeling good for your body. This is your practice, so you enjoy. And yeah, Erin, child's pose is one of my favorite poses too. It's just such a good way to reset the body. So slowing it down. The get out of bed pose. Oh no, how late were you up, Erin? Hopefully it was a productive night at least. Dave's a master at the get out of bed pose. All right, so you guys got about another minute here, so just take whatever you need. Now I really want you to make this about you. This is why I'm not moving, I'm not making suggestions, because part of yoga is about self-discovery. Part of it is about figuring out what's working for your body, about listening, being in tune with your body. So I really want you to take this time for you, creating that space for whatever you might need. And maybe it's child's pose, right? So it doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be your choice. No getting into trouble. All right, wherever you're at, slowly finding your way onto your back. Let's bring the knees into the chest, just breathing here. Just enjoying what it feels like to be on your back, to allow yourself to rest, to allow yourself to be here, to just breathe. It can feel kind of funny when you're taking it a little bit slower in these poses. Your mind tends to race. You think about all the things you could be doing or should be doing. And that's how you know that this is right where you need to be. Slow it down. All right, from here, let's come into happy baby, grabbing the bottom, the soles of the feet. If that's just not working, you can also just grab behind the knees here, and creating space here. So maybe creating a bit of space here for the belly, creating space here for your thighs, creating space wherever you need to. 4 a.m., Aaron, that's crazy. Aaron, you should come and just do this last little bit with us. This will help relax you. Editing till 2 a.m. Oh, don't get Dave started. Dave wants a racing simulator. Oh yeah, he already said that. Love to all money, don't sleep. Great stretches, Jen. Thanks, Jay Caesar. Thanks for being here. Just enjoying your happy baby here. Taking it slow. Nice deep belly breaths. Just enjoy the space here. All right, from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come into reclining pigeon. So just bringing or figure 4 stretch, also known as. So just bringing that right foot over the left knee, and maybe this is where you're gonna stay. If you're feeling really tired and sore and yuck, maybe this is where you wanna be. You may even just plant the foot on the ground and just bring the knee out. So just kind of seeing what this feels like. If you want like a little bit more, maybe you're gonna grab either underneath the knee or at the ankle and using those arms to bring the knee in a little bit more. So just breathing. That's funny, Aaron. Yeah. Racing simulators, you guys are so funny. Okay, so just hugging it in here. Again, just breathing here. I really want you to get connected to the breath here. See if you can bring the lower back grounded. See if you can just create a little bit more space there. Just breathe. All right, from here, we're gonna go into a twist. So a couple variations for your twist. Since your knees are already kind of like this, what you can do is just drop them over to the left to see what this feels like. If this feels good, maybe you're gonna stay here. If you need a little bit more, maybe you're gonna hug those knees together, stacking one knee over the other and coming over to the side like that. And if this one's not feeling good, maybe you're just gonna stack the knees on top of each other, no twist. So you just find whatever variation of twist is feeling good for your body right now. So just breathe. Aaron, you're making Dave so jealous. I bet you right after this, he's gonna be looking up a setup. So just breathing. Enjoying this little twist. Noticing where you feel it. Seeing if you can get that right shoulder onto the ground. If it's not happening, you can always grab a block or even a blanket to help. Maybe a block's a bit too much, but you can grab a blanket. I would grab it if it was a little closer, but you can stick that underneath and just help you find that space and find that connection. So just breathing here, enjoying this last little bit of stretching on this side. All right, coming back to center, hugging in those knees, Just letting everything just even out. Maybe doing some circles here with the lower back. Just breathing. All right, so we got the other side to do. So coming into figure 4 on the other side. So what we're going to do is just take the right foot over, the left foot over the right, and whatever variation you took on the other side, see if you can balance it out. If it's just not feeling good and you want to do something different, feel free to do that as well. It is your body, so you do what you need to do. You know your body the best. The only reason why we say balance it out is because, well, you don't really want to go really crazy on one side and really light on the other, just because it may kind of distort the body a little bit, but it just depends what's going on. So you breathe, you relax. Breathing here. See if you can ground the lower back a little bit. And when you're ready, coming over to any twist of your choice. We showed a few on the other side, so you pick probably the same one, but if not, you do you. Trying to get that left shoulder onto the mat. Again, feel free to bring like a blanket or something like that underneath to help you find that space. And just breathe. It's the last stretch before we go into Shavasana. So just enjoying it here. All right, coming back to center, hugging in those knees last time. Again, feel free to do any last little bits, maybe those circles or anything like that. And dropping the legs, finding your variation of Shavasana. So taking some time, taking some space for you. Thinking about those belly breaths. Try to slow down the breath here. Also, any variation of Shavasana works, anything that feels good for you, so you pick yours. Just feeling yourself get grounded. Just taking this time to absorb your practice, take a last few breaths, take some time before you get started, continue on with your day. Maybe do a little body scan from your toes to your thighs, to your belly, to your back, your elbows, to your fingers, your head and your neck. Notice if you're carrying any tension still. See if you can create space. See if you can let that tension go. And as you're here, I'll read the quote of the week. So the quote of the week is just a little passage on hope by someone named Nikki Benes. I actually found this on Pinterest. If you only carry one thing throughout your entire life, let it be hope. Let it be hope that better things are always ahead. Let it be hope that you can get through even the toughest times. Let it be hope that you are stronger than any challenge that comes your way. Let it be hope that you are exactly where you're meant to be right now, and that you are on the path to where you are meant to be. Because during these times, hope will be the very thing that carries you through. So just taking a few more breaths, enjoying this space that we've created for you. Noticing if that message on hope felt like anything, stirred anything, and let it go. We're going to hang out here for a little bit longer to enjoy the full benefits of Shavasana. Take that time to slow down before we continue with everything else. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes, maybe wiggling those toes, wiggling those fingers, maybe just slowly moving those wrists, moving those ankles, nice and slowly, just waking your body up. Maybe coming into a nice long body stretch, hopefully not hitting any plants like I am. Just breathing. Finding whichever side feels good to roll onto. Just breathing here. And meeting back in any seated variation of your choice. Feel free to take that block again, that book, put it under your seat to get a little bit taller. Take some of the pressure off the hips. Just breathe. Let's take 3 breaths together to close out this practice. Inhale. Let it go. Inhale. Breathing out of the mouth, let it go. Last one. Inhale. Let it go. Thank you so much for taking the time for yourself today. Thank you for being here. Just enjoying this last little bit of time for you. Hopefully you were able to create some space in your body. Hopefully you have that nice Zen calmness that you can take with you for the rest of your day. Until next time, namaste. All right. So that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that class. I hope that you feel a little bit more space. I hope you feel a little bit more grounded, and I hope you feel a little more open. So we'll stick around for a little bit longer as usual. So let us know if you've got any feedback. Let us know if you've got any requests for next week. Let us know what you thought about the music. Always keen to kind of hear your feedback and how you guys are feeling after these classes. It helps keep me motivated, and it's really awesome to hear from you guys. Also, I hope that you guys got maybe a little bit more of an appreciation of how props and things like that can really add to your practice, especially if you're feeling extra tight. It just helps to take that pressure off of the joints, off of the body, so that you can really get the true benefit of you can get the true benefit of those. Sorry, something just happened on Dave's phone. I think I heard my own voice.
Headphones died.
Oh, his headphones died. And anyways, so I hope that you guys appreciated that. If you are looking to pick up props or anything like that, you may consider, we do have some links in our description that go to, there are Amazon affiliate links. So if you are looking, consider purchasing through there. It definitely helps us out. It helps support our channel. So Aaron, I see a lot of comments about maybe you getting in trouble and being in the doghouse because of this awesome race setup that you've got, and maybe for getting up late. So I hope you get out of the doghouse today too. And thanks so much for coming by, Aaron. Honestly, it means so much to us that you try to take some time out to attend these live sessions and just be here for support. So thanks so much. I really appreciate you too. So thanks for being here. Dave, great class. As always, Dave, thanks for all the work that you do. He does a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that you guys can hear the music, to make sure that the lighting looks good, to make sure that this is like the best experience that you guys can have. He cares so much about it. So thank you, Dave, for making these sessions so awesome, because they would not be nearly as awesome if it was me doing this solo, because I don't have an eye for any of that stuff. It would probably be off my phone and you probably wouldn't be able to see me. Jen, you loved this class. You enjoyed the different moves. The block helped. I'm starting to feel stronger each week. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad that you brought the block in. I'm so glad that you kind of checked that out. So yeah, so I'm glad that you guys like the different moves. I wanted to have a bit of variety here so that we can kind of just get our energy up, and that we could just kind of feel that space and that opening. So I hope that that's what you guys got. Thanks, Aaron. You're making me blush. All right. So, yeah. And yeah, definitely good to get stronger and more flexible. It's just amazing what it can feel, especially when you do the balance with the strength training and you do the balance with some yoga to sort of just get a little bit more mobile. Plus you get the added benefit of some strength training with yoga too. So it's just, it's just really good. Oh, and then as we are doing the double live streams for the whole month of January, so we will be doing Get Fit with HIIT tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern time, so come join. I've got another killer playlist planned, and we're going to have a ton of fun getting our energy up and just like pushing through. Dave. And guys, make sure you guys go check out FitLab. So FitLab has an amazing YouTube channel. He is a professional celebrity trainer, so it's really awesome that he's even creating this content for all of us to enjoy, to learn how to get stronger, to learn how to properly use weights, to learn how to properly train our bodies. So he's got some really amazing stuff. He's got some longer videos which will really go through like do's and don'ts, especially with certain exercises. And he does it in just such a great way. So please go check him out. FitLab. Kiara, awesome. I'm glad you stopped in really quick. Guys, Kiara is going to be, she is a soon-to-be pro skateboarder. So please go check her out. Give her some love. She's awesome. She's got some really cool moves. I have no idea how she does that on a skateboard, but she's awesome. All right. So, and then for those of you that maybe want to kick their butt a little bit more, so Adrian and Nico, they do run sessions every Saturday. It's about probably midway into their session right now. They start normally about 10:45 Eastern time, and they just have really killer workouts. So definitely go check them out. They may have they may still have another round that's going. Otherwise, you can always just rewatch their stuff. Oh gosh, never be sorry for being late. Honestly, it's just so awesome to have you guys on here. It's awesome, even if you're stopping by for 5 minutes to come by and support. Even if you're doing the session just for a couple minutes, it's always awesome. So thanks so much for everyone for being here. It's so fun to do this every week. I love seeing you guys. I love seeing the comments coming through because it's just so cool that we can kind of be here together as a community. And I don't know. I guess that's it, eh, Dave? Cool. All right, so we're gonna cut it off here, but as always, if you guys have any requests, I'm still finalizing my Get Fit for HIIT tomorrow. So if you guys do have any requests, any exercises that you wanna do, hit me up. You can send me a direct message on Instagram, movewithjen.ca, and I'll make sure to get that added in. Any music requests, definitely let me know. And if you've got any requests for yoga next week, please also let me know. So, all right, love you guys. Have the most amazing Saturday. Hope you have the most amazing weekend, and we'll check you guys out later. So, see you later, everyone. Bye.